You are live.
Yeah, coming in live.
Coming in hot. All right. Well, hello, everybody. As usual, we're just going to kind of give it a couple of little minutes here to let things kind of build, let people get on. This is live on YouTube and on Facebook. My name is Audra Sargelis, and this is the Secrets of Sex Table Talk. And this is my lovely, beautiful, dear friend, Rachel.
How's it going, guys? It's good to see you again.
So as you can see my jungle behind me, we were thinking today, like, should we put a backdrop off? And I was like, nah, this is like more real because, you know, it is.
Gotta love the plants.
Yeah. My big one there is Tina, and then this little guy over here, not so little, but that one's the imp. And then this beautiful baby is Charlie. Charlie is 29 years old. She has been with my family for a very long time, and hopefully I'll be able to keep her for much longer. So today we're going to hit on some topics about the relationships after being widowed. So a widow is a woman.
Or a man.
A widower is a man. Hey, Jonathan. Nice to have you here, love. This question was asked. I think this is a difficult topic, and it's a difficult question to answer because I have never lost my partner to death. I have lost, partners due to the end of a relationship. I have lost a partner to drugs, not saying that they died, but they got very heavily into drugs, and that just completely destroyed it, ended the relationship. That felt like they died. I cannot say, for me personally, that I know how it feels to lose your lover to death. I can tell you from experience in talking with people and in dealing with certain people, in coaching them, how we've kind of gotten through that together. So that'll be that. And we both have our opinions on that. So we'll hit that topic. We're going to go over a topic of marriage and a new stigma for men that is being, I'll say, produced due to society, and a lot of even movements like the Me Too movement has affected some of this, and how men are seeing relationships now, how they feel. I ran across this about 2 days ago, and I was just kind of really floored by the response of both men and women to this topic alone. So I feel like this is a pretty good one to cover. And then we have another question here that is feeling connected to somebody that you have never met. Pardon me, like you've met them online or you follow them online. So your attraction to them and the questions that follow. Am I normal? Is this sad? Or am I just lonely? So we'll cover that. We are also going to cover rejection and obsession. And I personally feel like these two things can come hand in hand. They are two very separate things, but they can definitely be hand in hand, which can make things a lot worse, in my opinion. And then I have made some posts about chronic pain. And this has it can have to do with sex. Absolutely. I deal with chronic pain all the time. I'll go into my injury, what happened, how long I've been dealing with this. And then you can know, anybody else who deals with chronic pain, you're not alone. and I'll tell you how I get through it, and the struggles, and everything else that kind of comes along with that. So, is there anything you would like to say or add or interject?
Who, me?
You.
No, I'm excited actually to talk about all the topics. I've got experience with some of them, others not so much. So I'll just be kind of giving my opinion on what I think, but at the same time, without going through it, I can't really give too much insight as to how I would actually handle that situation. So I'll just try to explain the best on how I think I would go about it.
Okay, so we'll start with this number one. And hey, Rick, you said 3 inches not enough. No, boo boo, it's not. I'm sorry. I wish I could say that it was. But, there's other ways, honey. So I'm not saying that you have 3 inches, but, they say the motion of the ocean, the way you rock the boat, there's other things just besides what's between your legs.
Yep.
So a lot of men tend to feel like their cock is such a signifier, a defining thing of them, what makes them a man. And I'm sure every single man wants to be well endowed, right?
But it's not going to happen.
It's
biologically, not everybody's going to have a big penis. It's not going to happen.
And it sucks. I know it sucks. I'm sorry. But that's why you have 10 digits and a mouth and toys. And that's why they have made sleeves for men with smaller members. You can actually slide it over your member and make yourself bigger, longer. So, I mean, like, we live in a very enhanced day. There's toys out there, and we were actually just talking about this. There's also surgeries, but I mean, I'm not one to go out and say that a man or a woman, for that matter, should be going out to get surgery. I mean, everyone knows that these types of things can have side effects, and I'm pretty sure that you would prefer Mr. Wee Willy Winky to be working than not, or damaged, and maybe you can't feel anymore, or God knows. I mean, just be happy with what the almighty universe gave you and figure out how to go from there is what that's what I think personally.
I completely agree. At the end of the day, you just have to be okay with how your body is. And then if it's not enough, there's other ways to satisfy your partner.
Amen to that. There really are. And I'll be perfectly honest too. Listen, if your woman doesn't love you because you have a wee willy, and I mean 3 inches and under, does she really even belong in your life?
No.
It's like a man not loving his woman because her breasts are too small, or her hips are too wide, or God knows whatever else. I mean, like her butt's too small or too big, or he doesn't like the way that her labia looks. I mean, get real, it's just find somebody who is going to take you inside and out and love you for everything you got. Yours is only 1 inch. First of all, I think you're full of shit right now. And I think you're trying to get a rise out of us. And if it is, okay. I mean, I'm not going to down on you for it. That's just the way it is. So
if it is only 1 inch, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, are you able to accept it and be able to move on from there?
Yeah. I mean, I know it sucks. I know it has a huge blow to your self-esteem. And it might not make you feel worthy or enough, but listen, you're not defined by your penis. As a woman is not defined by her breast or her vagina, for that matter. Like, what kind of person are you? Are you a good dude? You a solid motherfucker? You gonna go out there and put it out and be be that guy? Because that is more important than your cock. Just saying, that's more important than that. So, all right. I will respond to you if you keep on. So, we have the relationships after being widowed. And so it wasn't just widower or widow. It was after being widowed. Oh, I'm going to let you hit on that first.
So I have never lost anybody due to death. So I have no idea what it is like to be a widow.
As a partner.
Having to lose a partner that way. But in my opinion, I would hope that I would be able to move on at some point. It may take 5 years. It could take 10 years. But I would hope that at some point in life that I would be able to move on and be able to find companionship and be able to love somebody else. And I would hope that if I had a partner that had lost me, that they would be able to do the same thing. Because everybody deserves to be loved and to spread love. I would hate to know that my partner is spending their time depressed and alone and unhappy for the rest of their lives.
Agreed.
I would hope that they find happiness somewhere else. Like, even if it's just a friendship, somebody to talk to spend time with.
Right, companionship.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sexual. But being able to find a companion, I would hope that either one of us would be able to do that, for sure.
I agree. I fully agree with that. So there's a few things involved when it comes down to losing your partner. And one is grief. And I've lost loved ones. I've lost people very close to me. Have I lost my lover? No, I haven't lost my lover. So I can tell you, in coaching other people and in helping some other people who have, is, for one, you have got to accept your grief. Rich, I'll get back to you in a second, love. You have to accept your grief, for number one, in any way possible. That means accepting this loss. Crying is okay. Being angry, there actually are the steps to grief. And what happens? There's denial, there's anger. You shut down. There's a myriad of things that happen. Depression. I personally believe that anyone that is in a very loving relationship, they've lost their partner, I think that they should go to grief counseling. That's my opinion on that. I think that they should go to grief counseling, and I think that they should go to a peer support group, because other people understand that loss. They know what you're going through. So accepting and dealing with your grief, and not, I'm fine. You're not fucking fine. Do you know what fine means? Fucked up, insecure, neurotic, emotional, or evasive. That's what fine means. Listen, Linda. You got to deal with your shit.
That can be hard to deal with.
It is. And that typically takes people anywhere between 6 months to a year. And 6 months is not very long, but there's a lot of people that they can hit this with the 6 month mark. And then that's when they do finally start either going out with friends again, or they do go into counseling or the groups, or all of this grief counseling groups and all of that. So I think that's very important. And if you just need to go to a counselor on your own, just to be able to talk to a third party who's not involved in your life, that will literally help you get through it, then do so. The other thing is getting back into a routine. You need to get back into a routine of getting up, brush your goddamn hair, brush your teeth, take a shower, make yourself some coffee, make yourself something to eat, and then go, okay, if all you can do is get out of bed, that's number one. Just get out of bed.
Because sometimes getting out of bed's the hardest part.
It is. You know, if you haven't been outside your house, get the fuck outside. You don't have to leave, but open the door. You know, I mean, you hear what I'm saying here is open the door, open your blinds, go outside, go into your yard, stick to your area. And then finally, once you, right, John, exactly. And hold on, a divorce can mean death for a lot of people. Okay. It definitely can be. It can mean death to them. It's a death of a life that they thought that they were going to be living with this person for forever. And that is a death. That is a death of a relationship. It truly is. It's just different from never being able to lay eyes
on that person
ever again, never being able to touch them, to smell them, to feel them, to kiss them, to say fuck you too. I mean, you know, so it's accept your grief, get into a counseling, getting into a group, getting back into a routine, and then call your friends. You know, call your friends and be like, hey, can you come over? Asking for help is our number one biggest problem. We don't ask for help when we need it.
No, we always think that we can do it on our own.
And we don't want to burden anybody.
Exactly. Like, it's my problem. I don't want you to have to bear the burden that I'm going through.
That's right. And depending on what kind of tribe you have, what kind of friends that you have in your group, you know, my friends are not my friends. My friends are my family. This girl is my family. Like, she's not my friend. She's my family. So, do you need me? Okay. Do I just need to come sit on the floor and you're sitting on the couch and you're crying and you just need my presence? Okay. Sometimes that's all it takes is I need you. I need a friend, or I need my friends. And then you have them over. Doesn't mean you're doing anything. Maybe you're just sitting down watching TV, or you're gaming, or maybe you finally start to barbecue or cook, or, hey, you ready to, let's go get something to eat.
Or even if you're just sitting in silence.
That's
like, you're like, I need you to come over. I don't want to talk, but I just want you to sit here with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to cry. I'm probably going to be a mess, but I just need somebody here with me.
Yeah. So, and that's male or female. People, you know, they want to be like, oh, well, you know, guys, this. Listen, guys tend to take death harder than women. And I don't know why that is. I think because, well, I'll say for me, I always feel like I have too many people to take care of. I just can't let it. I can be down and I can be sad and I can be depressed, but I can't stay there. So I don't feel like, for me, that's something I can do. Now, losing my partner,
I feel like that's different though, because even with having to carry all of that extra stuff, I feel like if I was to lose my partner, I'd lose it.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is, you know, this is something that is inconceivable, and to come home and not have that smell, that feeling when you know that they're there, and just know that that's not going to be there anymore. I would not be okay, but I would hope that for myself, and knowing myself, that I would just not let myself sit there for too long. Now, as it gets back into dating or even having sex with somebody, there are people that have lost their partners and have never gotten into another relationship. They've never had sex with a person again. I think that is horribly sad and lonely. And I don't mean sad, pathetic. I mean sad. That's sad because I think that everybody needs companionship. And even if you never sleep with another person and they're just your companion, that's okay. But everybody needs companionship. We are not lone creatures. We were not made this way. We've always been tribal people. So I just think that it's going to take that. It's going to take accepting your grief, dealing with your grief, getting into counseling, getting into groups, getting back into routine, asking for help, asking for friends, asking for family. And then one day is just going, okay. Now, everybody's journey is going to be different. So it could be 3 months, 6 months, 18 months. It could be 3 years. But in my opinion, it's just like, you just can't stay there. You know, you have to get back up.
Well, and even though you're moving on doesn't mean you're forgetting your partner either.
No.
So just because we're like, you got to get up and you've got to hopefully move forward, it doesn't mean that you're forgetting the person that you loved before, because you're never going to forget them. Mm-hmm. Like, they will always be a part of you, but you also have to think they want you to be happy.
That's true.
They wouldn't want to see you just sulking around and not enjoying the rest of your life and trying to meet somebody else to share your life with.
Yeah, I feel the same way with that. Anybody who truly loves you, they want you to be happy. And they don't want you to sit there and just wither away into nothing and be a miserable person forever. I mean, I think, sorry, this is a deep topic, but like, motherfucker, you better grieve me, but don't grieve me forever. You know, I mean, remember all of those good times. Remember a flower fight. Remember getting lost with me. Remember the time we got caught in the rain. Remember this one dinner I fucked up badly. Remember these things that made us laugh and happy cry. And it's the time you got pissed off at me and I laughed at you for it. And then you laughed and then you weren't mad at me anymore. Just remember.
Well, and you'll also remember the bad times when, God damn it, like, why didn't you fucking do the dishes? Why are you leaving garbage all over the place? Why can you not put your dirty clothes in the hamper?
Why is your underwear always on the door?
Yeah. But that's...
Why are your socks inside out in the washing machine?
Yeah. We laugh, but those are the things where you'll look back on and you're like, I got so mad over the stupid stuff, but you'll be able to laugh about it. Because you're like, I miss seeing your underwear on the door.
Yes.
I miss seeing your dirty dishes sitting in the sink when they should be in the dishwasher.
I
should have washed them.
Goddamn inside out socks.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like those kinds of things. This is such a hard question to really answer, but I just think that it takes all of those things, and that everybody's journey is going to be different and take its own time. And then having sex with a new person for the first time again is going to be weird and awkward, and you're going to feel like a kid all over again. And you're like, I don't know how to do this. I haven't dated in 10 years, 20 years. I haven't even thought about being with another person, and God, again, we've talked about, we all look and we're all like, damn, but we love our partner, so it's just like, it's just all of those things, should you have sex again after your partner dies? Yeah. On your own terms and on your own time.
And if that time is never, then it's not.
Then it's not. I hope the other for you. I hope the latter. I hope that you can heal enough and forgive yourself, because you're not cheating on your partner. And I do believe that they do want you to be happy and live a very fulfilled, happy, content life. So that's that for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
John, I'll answer you in a second because so Rich, you said that it's eating me up inside. Buddy, I'm sorry, honey. I really hope that this does not define you. I really hope that you can get past this. And I will say this, hun, that there are sex therapists and maybe you should seek one, and that there are counselors out there and maybe that would help. I don't think everybody needs counseling. I absolutely do not believe everybody needs medication. I am not a medication pusher at all. But I do believe that sometimes people need others to talk to get through certain things. Now, as we have discussed briefly, there are surgeries. I am not a big person to push on, go get your lips done, go get your eyes done, go get your boobs done, go get this, go get that. Listen, we all have imperfections. All of us.
They make us who we are.
They do. Even people who have had all of these surgeries and they look dynamite, let me tell you, they still have imperfections. And some of them are right here. So, you know, I'm sorry that this hurts you, but honey, it's just, it's not what defines you. And I know that's easy for me to say. I don't have a dick. But I can say that there are very many women out there who are looking for a good, solid man who is just going to love the shit out of them. And quite honestly, there's a lot of women that just don't give a fuck about the size of your dick. So, you know,
I can attest to that.
You know, I mean, John, you said that, you weren't ready to date or even think about seeing anyone for 6 months, and you just went through a divorce. And then you said that for you, it was more of a rebirth because you were married to the wrong person. I can actually attest to this. I know, again, John's my cousin. I know who he was married to, and no, he was not married to the right person, but he dealt with, I'm oversharing, John, I'm sorry. But he went through some kind of trauma with this woman, and
not good.
No, and it kind of messed with, I'll say, his self-esteem, but I mean, just wanting to even be in a relationship with a woman because of what he dealt with her, I can understand it. And then him finding himself again and becoming his own person again, and all of that. It was, that alone, again, going through the divorce for him, and then it is a death. It's a death of a relationship, not the same. But even a divorce, people, good God, there are people who get divorced and, I'll read that second. They never have a partner again.
Yeah.
They're alone forever. My mom is one of those people. My mom was married to her last husband for I want to say 14 years. And I think this year will be 8 or 9 years. And yeah, 8 or 9 years this year.
She hasn't dated? Nothing?
No, hasn't dated, has not been, not had a partner, not anything like it. And she doesn't want it. And I know that there's people like that. I besides my mom, I know that there's people out there that they just don't want it again.
Do you think that that's out of fear of it ending again?
Yes.
They're just afraid to get that committed to somebody. Yes. And then,
I do. Absolutely. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
John, you said, do you think that the women that do not care about sex have never had a good sexual experience and have only had selfish lovers?
Partially, yes.
Partially, yes. That is a very loaded question. Go ahead.
So I feel like there's layers to that.
Mm-hmm.
And being with selfish lovers will make it to where you don't care about sex. Because if your partner only cares about them getting off and and they just kind of leave you to your own devices, they're like, oh, I came, like, I'm done, I'm good, like, that's it. Then yeah, why would you care about sex?
Yeah.
It's like you don't care about pleasing me or my satisfaction, so.
And sex is not about one person's satisfaction.
It's not.
Unless you are buying a prostitute.
Yes.
In which case, you are there for one reason and one reason only, and that is self-satisfaction.
But you are not, that is not the point in a relationship.
No, it's
especially
not.
A committed relationship.
No,
with
it's
somebody.
not. So, do you think that women that don't care about sex have never had a good sexual experience and have only had selfish lovers? Okay. Oh, Rich. Johnny, let me get back to you in a second. Okay, honey, Rich, I just dealt with talking somebody off of a ledge last night, okay? For a very different reason, but honey, Rich, you need to listen to me right now, okay? We all get into some very dark places. We all feel very down and depressed about ourselves from time to time. Some people all the time. This is where I just said that counseling will be a good idea. And now I believe so, honey. I absolutely think that you do need to go and find a counselor to talk about this, because this leads into a little bit of body dysmorphia, okay? Yeah. And body dysmorphia is an evil motherfucker. It makes you believe the absolute worst about yourself and who you see in the mirror. No matter how good you look, no matter how pretty, handsome, strong people tell you you are, you look, they find you, you will always see the very opposite of that. Now, I do not feel that I'm sorry, love. I don't think there's very many reasons. I don't think that there's very many reasons to commit suicide, my love. And I have mentioned time and time again on these that if you need help and if you only want to reach out to me, then by all means do. You can go ahead and send me an email, all right? And I will then reach out to you with my work phone number, okay? And we can have a talk, all right? But this is not the way. Okay? This is not the way. This is not a reason for that, okay? I know that because you're a man and this deals with going into pleasing a woman that you feel like you can't, you can. There are other ways, all right? And like I told you before, there's your hands, there's your mouth, there's toys, there's extensions. And if it comes down to it and you feel it's absolutely necessary, you can go and get a surgery. You can go and talk to your doctor and just like, this is ruining my life. I'm not okay. This is dealing with my mental health. I don't function well. It affects everything I do. And if that is the case, then I highly suggest that you do so. But more so than anything else, I think that you should be on the phone first thing in the morning, since it's late everywhere right now. I think that you should get on first thing in the morning, and you should get a hold of a therapist so you can go in and say it's an emergency. You know, but please get a hold of my my email, which is here on my YouTube. Okay. It's also on my Instagram. You can find it there. Email me and tell me, let me know that it's you, please. And then I'll respond and I'll give you my work phone number and we can have a discussion. All right. Because this is, I please don't, and if you need help tonight, get a hold of the suicide hotline, please. We pull that number up.
Yeah, of course.
Please get a hold of the suicide hotline. We're going to get the phone number up for you right now. I'll put it in the comments. And please, I know that this is a tough thing, but it's not the answer, love. That's not the answer. So I will, I'll get the suicide hotline number here in a second. Okay. And if you feel like it's that bad, especially this evening, please walk into the emergency room. Walk straight into the emergency room and tell them that you need help. And yes, they might hold you, but that's better than you not being here anymore. Because you are worthy, you are loved, and you are needed by those in your life, regardless of whether you believe that or not.
Nope, you just shut it off. So
Did I have you connected? That's what I want. Okay. God damn it. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this up so we can get this phone number for you. Jesus. That better be it. Of course not. Okay, now it should come up. So
there's the number.
Oh, awesome. All right. Rich, I am putting in the number right now to the suicide hotline, love. Okay. And I would appreciate it if you just kept on leaving messages throughout the broadcast tonight, please. And let me know if you have sent me an email. Okay. I have 2 things going on right now, so I can probably check one of those things. But please keep on messaging. And if we need to have an intervention and have a talk right now, then we can do so. Okay. So John, getting back to that question is, do you think women that don't care about sex have never had a good sexual experience and that they have only had selfish lovers? Yes. Part of that. Yes, they've had a selfish lover. 2, they have probably had an inexperienced lover. Number 3, they have very well may have been abused, molested, or raped in their life. Or even mentally, emotionally abused, and they don't feel comfortable
expressing their sexuality in a sense?
Putting themselves in such a vulnerable position. Yeah. As well as body dysmorphia. A lot of people, because of social media, which has basically started Cosmo, a little bit before Cosmo, but Cosmo, oh, we might be having a malfunction. It didn't last that long. Shit.
Not very good.
Well, apparently mine are just too heavy. Sorry, I have stickies on because, I'm wearing a different top and woo!
They're not holding too great.
They're not holding too great. I am not going to give these a good endorsement. So yeah, I feel like that is just because a woman doesn't like or enjoy sex doesn't mean that it's you. for instance, but it means that, you know, they could have been molested. They could have been raped. They could have been assaulted. And assaulted means a number of things. They could have bulimia or anorexia. They could have, besides those two things, which are body dysmorphia, they could have another part of body dysmorphia. There's so many things involved when it comes down to sex. And that's why, I mean, you have people go around all the time and they just throwing it out there and doing it and whatever. But I also see that as a sign of insecurity and low self-esteem. And, you know, just, I want somebody to love me. Well, sex isn't love.
No, but to them, they may feel like it is. And that's the closest thing to love that they've ever felt. That's right.
And then that's why that happens. So there are men who are the same way. Please don't forget that there are just asexual people as well. And it's not that they don't think about sex the way that other people do. Asexuals just don't see it the same way as regular sexual people do. So that's where that comes into play personally. So Rich, send me a message, buddy. I would like to know that you're around, unless you're on the phone. I would love to see a message from you. Come back, please.
Let us know you're out there,
please. So this other thing here, it's about marriage and the stigma for men. So I saw this thing I was reading on men and marriage, and a lot of the reasons why men these days are not so inclined to get married. And they feel like, from what I read, that there is nothing for them to gain and only everything to lose.
Which I could see in some cases, because men do tend to get screwed over, especially when divorce happens. Mm-hmm. And that makes most men not want to get married.
That's what prenuptial agreements are for.
Yes, but also at the same time, you go into a marriage and want to do a prenup, and most women don't take that very well. And they're like, oh, so you think I'm only in it for your money, or vice versa. True. And men have done it the same way.
True.
And so it's like, prenups, yes, can be a good thing, but at the same time, that can also ruin a relationship, because they're like, oh, well, you don't trust me, and you think that if this doesn't end well, then I'm going to try to take everything you've got.
That's true.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. The other thing was, it's that men don't feel valued. They don't feel enough.
But I feel like if you're in a relationship where you're not feeling valued and you're not feeling like you're enough, then marriage shouldn't be on the table anyway.
I agree.
Like, you should be reconsidering the relationship and the partnership that you're in, and you should probably find a different one where you do feel like you are enough and your partner does value you and appreciate you.
Agreed. Fully agreed. This isn't even going to let me... Fuck. Okay.
Because I know if I'm in a relationship and I don't feel valued and appreciated, I'm gone. Like, marriage won't even be a topic of the conversation.
But I think that, you know, that needs to be a conversation that needs to be had in every relationship. Not just trying to get my email.
It should, but people are afraid to have the conversation. But you shouldn't be afraid to communicate with your partner.
Never.
Communication is one of the biggest parts of any relationship. And it's like, if you don't feel comfortable being able to talk to your partner, then that should be a huge sign right there.
Yes. Okay, it is. Oh my God, I'm having a dyslexic moment. Dude.
you want help?
I am so having a dyslexic moment. Jesus Christ. I think it also, oh Jesus. Okay, this is done. We've had some movements happen, and you know, anyone who knows me, knows that I'm a believer in both sex. Okay, and oh, well, you're not a feminist or whatever. Do you know what a feminist actually truly is? Like, do you know the true definition? It's just someone that stands up for women's rights. That's it. Yeah. Everybody believes in women's rights. All right. For the most part. I mean, there's a few handfuls of people out there that don't believe women should have rights at all. And okay, fine. Do you, boo. But it's the thing. It's just believing in women's rights. That's all. So when part of the Me Too movement came out and we had these people who had something happen to them, but they didn't come out for 20 fucking years. You know what that did to us? That hurt us.
Oh, it hurt us a lot.
That hurt us. That didn't help us. Okay. Then it also made it hard for women in the workplace because then men no longer wanted to be in a room with us alone anymore because they didn't know if something that happened or that they said innocently, truly innocently, was going to be taken the wrong way and later used against them. Listen, you smell nice. That means he likes your perfume. He's not saying that your JJ smells nice. He's saying you smell nice.
But if he's being creepy about it and all that,
well, that's different. And then that's but that's different. And then that's where you as a woman should be like, motherfucker, step off.
Yeah.
You in my bubble. You in my bubbles bubble. And then that can be taken care of right there.
Yeah.
You know, not like, dang, you smell nice. I like your perfume. Or God, that color looks so good on you. Now, if he's like, that color looks so good on you, and he's just looking right here, okay, hey.
Yeah.
Right? But it changed the theme of how a man can even talk to a woman. Listen, consent is a thing, but I don't have to consent for you to give me a compliment, in my opinion.
And that's going both sides. Like,
God damn.
Even guys complimenting guys, girls complimenting girls, either way.
And that's it. I mean, I can look at a man and go, damn, you know, like, keep this to my damn. And then say, you are handsome. Or you are fine. And mean it. And then leave it at that. Not like, motherfucker, I would ruin you. Now
that's crossing the line.
Cross the line. But to say, you are handsome, or I love your eyes, you have a beautiful smile. How come we can't do this anymore? How come? That has then affected the relationships that men and women have together in the workplace and in the relationship field, because it has taken, you want to talk about equality, it has taken away equality. It has. Somebody has always got the upper hand here, and it shouldn't be that way. It just needs to be a level playing field. That's all. There's us, there's them, you know, women, men, there's us. Okay? Like, this is us. You're always going to have the cocksuckers. You're always going to have the cunts. That's the way it is. I'm sorry for that, but it is the truth. Thank you, Rich. That made me feel better, honey. Jesus. Right? I finally spelled that right? Not having a dyslexic moment?
Yep.
Okay. God.
Spelling can be so hard sometimes.
I have some issues sometimes. All right. Here is my email. All right. It's in the comments. So that stigma is, you know, they just feel like they're going to come into a relationship and then they're going to lose their house and then they're going to lose their dog and they're going to be some poor country song. And I mean, it happens. It's happened forever.
But you can't go in a relationship thinking that that's automatically going to happen, because then you're not really giving it a chance.
No.
You're automatically ruining it from the very beginning.
Yes.
And that's not fair.
And that's not fair. And this is where it just, you know, it's either shut down and just decide that you're going to be alone and that you're never going to be in a relationship. Because I will tell you, I mean, regardless of what social media says, we want to be married. We want a husband. We want our partner. We want our family. Okay. And regardless of what social media tells everybody else, men want to get married. They want to have a family, you know, and not everybody wants kids. Not everybody has to have children. Okay. So
but that's up for you and your partner to decide.
Like, it's just like, you know, there's so many things here. And I think that we as a society have let social media tell us so fucking much about this is how you should act. No, it's not. I mean, like, and I'm not saying like, let's go back to the 50s, a woman's barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen. I'm not saying that, but can we get back to some fucking value? Can we get back to that? Can we get back to some values and we just like love each other and be like, this is my wife. This is my husband. You know, Jesus, if you're in the dating pool and you are sitting there and you're like, I'm tired of dating. Okay. I'm tired of dating. I want to date my husband.
Yep.
I want to date my wife. I want to be in a relationship where I know that this is moving forward.
But isn't that the point of dating too? Isn't there an end result? Unless you have it in your mind where at that point you're just dating to hook up.
There's people that have been on Tinder for 10 years.
But Tinder, that's not dating. That's just sleeping around.
What's dating?
Well, you're right. Well,
not
necessarily though, because it's
for
like,
some people that's what it is though.
But mostly I feel like, at least for me, dating, you're going out there because you're trying to find somebody that you want to be with. Yes, sex is great. Like, don't get me wrong, sex is great. But I'm not going out there just looking for people to sleep around with. That's hooking up. That's not dating to me.
Oh. Hooking up. Yeah, but some people date to hook up. And they date that person for 2 weeks and then they're done. And then they move on to their next hookup. And that's 2 weeks.
But
that's dating.
Yeah.
You're like, bitch.
No, you're not wrong.
So
yeah,
I know what you're saying. The one and done. I've gone out on a date, hook up,
or even like, hey,
but
that's still kind of a friends with Benny's thing. It's like, okay, we're gonna go out and hang out a little. Well, that is different. Sorry, no, that is different. But it's like, okay, yeah, I kind of like you. We're having fun together. We'll ride this out for a little bit, but then it's like, okay, I've had enough. You are either not my type or whatever, and I'm going to move on.
Done.
Or you're just, done. I've had my fun with you. Now I want my next new shiny toy.
That's right. And I've known guys that did that for the longest time. They dated, hooked up, dated this person for 2 weeks, moved on to the next and moved on to the next. And it was a 2-week cycle. And until they found that chick and then they were done and they dated that person to fucking marry them. I've known women. I have known a girl. I'm going to call her a girl, woman, young woman thing. She slept with 55 guys in a month.
Damn.
Y'all.
She was moving.
In a month. That's multiples a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then she was on Tinder. Isn't that the swipe one?
A lot of them are swipe ones.
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So she was on there finding her little hot hookups. Boom, 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 bang, bang. Literally. Bang, 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 bang. Okay. And then met her dude.
Just one day found the right one.
And that was it. And they're married now and they have a child and they're doing their thing. But she was ridden more times than the Seattle Slew in a fucking month. Let me tell you that. And that's what she did. And that was dating for her. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, yes.
And I get that. Dating is different to everybody.
I had never been that type of person.
No, I haven't. That's
never.
That's not my thing.
No. And I don't understand that type of thinking. I fully believe that when you are going into a dating situation, that you are going in to find your partner.
Exactly.
To find who you want to be with. Now, does that mean you're going to marry that person?
No.
Not necessarily, no. But that you can see yourself spending a considerable amount of time with. And then through that time, does that evolve into, yes, actually, I do want to marry this person?
Yeah, but that's how you figure it out with anybody. You have
Correct.
to spend a decent amount of time getting to know each other, seeing
Correct.
if you're compatible, and then you're like, okay, well, either this is hopefully going to work,
yeah,
or it's not.
So, you know, that whole thing of like when you are first dating, Rich, or not Rich, but I'm happy you're here, Rich. Thank you. I did put my email out here for you, okay? John, I'll answer this question in a minute because that's a good question. Fucking lost my train of thought.
Dating to marry.
Oh, yeah. So once you are in, nope. Fuck.
Had it and then gone.
Son of a bitch. I hate when that happens.
Oh, I do too. It drives me nuts.
Because that was valid.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So in that dating process, especially when you have made up your mind, and I think that this goes for everybody, and especially in today's society, we need to set boundaries immediately.
Yes.
Boundaries have to be set immediately, not like 6 months down the fucking road. Okay. Don't be, you know, Mr. He-Man for 6 months and then like all of a sudden month 7 you're a totally different guy. What? And the same thing for women. Don't be together for 8 months, 9 months, and then all of a sudden you don't like to cook, you don't like to go fishing, you don't like his friends, you don't like gaming, you don't like whatever. Just be fucking your authentic self. I know that can be hard, but then the person that you're with doesn't know you.
But I feel like with dating, especially with online dating now, since it's so popular, creating your profile and all of this, like people are putting out the same lame bullshit that they know is going to draw people in and try to make them look attractive to get people to just want to swipe and get the conversation started. Because they're like, oh, if I'm my true self and I show them who I really am, they're not going to like me. But I'm like, bitch, do you care? Like, if you have somebody who wants to talk to you based on lies, like, is that really how you want to start any sort of relationship?
Yeah, because then it changes. I mean, like, how long can you maintain that lie? You can't.
No, and then at some point, when they decide to leave or whatever because you're not the person they thought they were, you want to be mad about it.
And you can't because it's your fucking fault.
Exactly. It's like, just be honest.
Just be honest.
Be like, hey, I'm a little crazy from the beginning. And any of the girls out there and guys out there, because a lot of you guys are crazy too.
Fucking A.
So just admit it. It's like, you don't have to be crazy all the time, but we all have our moments when we can be a little crazy, if not go full batshit crazy.
Yo. So it's just like, you know, talk about it. People don't want to talk about money. Talk about money. Talk about your goals, your real goals. Where do you want to be in 2 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? You know, do you want to start a business? Do you want to work at the same job for the rest of your life? I mean, what do you want to do in retirement? Do you want children? Do you want pets? Do you like fucking snakes? Do you fucking have to have a pet tarantula? Yeah. Like, you know, no, kids are not my ideal. I don't want that. I mean, fucking lay your shit out on the table. And if you can't do that, then are you really ready to be in a relationship? I'm sorry, but I just don't think people are.
Well, and at the same time, people get scared off if you talk about too much stuff too fast, especially the whole kids topic.
They do.
And it's like, okay, just because a girl or a guy asks you if you want to have kids
doesn't mean they want to have kids with you.
Exactly. Early on, say you're on your third date. And kids come up and they're like, do you want to have kids? Like, if I'm on a date with somebody, I'm asking you, do you want to have kids? I'm not saying I want to have kids with you, but I'm saying
right now.
Or right this second. But I'm saying, do you see kids in your future? Is that something that you want? Because if you tell me right now that it's not, and that at no point do you ever see yourself having kids, then we need to reevaluate this because we're not on the same page.
Yes.
And we should go our separate ways and not waste each other's time.
And this is what I'm talking about. People just need to lay their shit out. And that way everybody knows where they stand.
Yeah.
And I'm uncomfortable, coming into, later on down the road getting married. And this is the other thing of people lose their fucking minds when people say this. What if we broke up? What if we do?
Yeah, what if?
That doesn't mean that they're already thinking about you breaking up.
But it's always a possibility.